Carlos Alcaraz reveals the reason for his defeat against TIAFOE. Carlos Alcaraz returned to the courts this Sunday in Newark, 21 days after the injury suffered at the ATP Finals that forced him to miss the Davis Cup, and he did so with a defeat against Francis Tiafoe, although with positive physical sensations that were, in reality, the main objective of this exhibition. The Mercian took part in the A racket at the Rock event, where he first won, alongside Jessica Pegula, a mixed doubles against Tiafoe and Anisimova by 10-8, and then played the singles match against the American, who ended up winning 6-3, 3-6, 10-7 in a match full of spectacular points and a great atmosphere. The real reason for Alcaraz's defeat was not a physical issue nor a setback, but the clear lack of competitive rhythm after 3 weeks without playing, combined with the logical caution of not wanting to overstrain his recently recovered hamstring, which prevented him from taking risks and maintaining the necessary intensity in the decisive moments of the super tiebreak, where Tiafoe was more precise. Even so, the result is secondary, since Alcaraz confirmed that his body is responding well and that he can compete again without discomfort. With barely any rest, the world number one will now travel to Miami to play another exhibition, the Miami Invitational, where he will face the young Brazilian João Fonseca and will once again play a mixed doubles with Pegula before returning to Spain on December 13 to begin his preseason and focus on getting into optimal shape ahead of the start of the 2026 season in Australia. Alcaraz and Sinner talk about their rivalry. "We play a fundamental role in the appeal of our sport." The Spaniard and the Italian made joint statements on the occasion of the exhibition match they will play in January in South Korea. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have been the absolute kings of men's tennis in 2025, and it seems that this will continue in 2026. While waiting to know the physical condition of Novak Djokovic and the absence of other rivals capable of challenging them, everything indicates that they will continue sharing the cake between them. And if seeing each other constantly in tournament finals is not enough, in fact, this year they have played a total of 6 times, 4 for Carlos Alcaraz and 2 for Jannik Sinner. Now they will meet again in an exhibition match. Specifically in South Korea on January 10, 8 days before the Australian Open. So both spoke about this match and about their great rivalry in an interview for Tennis Korea. Eager to play in front of Korean fans. Sinner, "This match is a great opportunity not only for me, but also for Carlos. The simple fact of being able to play tennis in front of Korean fans is incredibly special. Another great reason is that I can regain my rhythm at least once before the Australian Open. Getting the rhythm and the feeling for the game back on court helps me tremendously in my preparation for the season. Considering all these factors, I gladly accepted this invitation." Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner talk about their tennis rivalry. Alcaraz, "This comparison is a real honor for me as a player. I think it means a lot that tennis fans feel the same when watching our matches. Rivalries in sport are a powerful aspect that fuels fans' interest, and I was also very inspired by the rivalry between Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer during my childhood. Jannik and I have already faced each other on many big stages and have played intense matches. We have faced each other in several Grand Slam finals, and I think we strengthen each other. With a long career ahead, I hope we can continue with this positive rivalry that will help us grow together." Sinner, "Rivalries are a fundamental part of our sport. In their era, there were great rivalries between Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray, and that trend has been maintained through generations. Rivalries have always existed throughout tennis history, and I think we play a fundamental role in the appeal of our sport. That's why I'm glad to know that I am developing that kind of relationship with Carlos. Rivalries have a special meaning both for fans and players. These elements make tennis more exciting, and I'm happy to be part of it." Alcaraz doesn't find weaknesses in Sinner's tennis. Alcaraz, "Jannik and I have been on the circuit since we were young and we know each other's games perfectly. There is almost nothing to hide on the court. Jannik is a player practically without weaknesses. He is powerful in attack and his defense is incredibly fast and stable. He completely dominated the 2025 season, winning 2 Grand Slams, the ATP Finals, and remaining in the fight for world number one until the end. Playing well against him is not enough. You have to maintain concentration throughout the entire match and there is no room for complacency. He is a player against whom you must give 100% from the first point to the last in order to have a chance to win." The challenge Sinner faces when playing against Alcaraz. Sinner, "He is one of the best players on the current circuit, perhaps even the best. Playing against him is always a challenge, but it is also very fun. Every match has a completely different story and rhythm, which makes it even more exciting. He is incredibly fast, so it is difficult to get past him at any point on the court. Additionally, he is very strong mentally, playing every point as if it were the last. These are the greatest challenges I face every time I play against him," says Jannik Sinner, who, along with Carlos Alcaraz, plans to dominate world tennis for many years. Impactful message from Alcaraz about his match against Sinner before the Australian Open. The Mercian tennis player has stated that this kind of match is a great opportunity to assess his physical condition before playing the only Grand Slam he has not lifted. Carlos Alcaraz continues his vacation in Miami, enjoying his last days before returning to the court. The Mercian will play again on December 7th and 8th in the United States in 2 exhibition matches to get into rhythm ahead of the next season. In 2026, Alcaraz will seek to defend his world number 1 title and win as many tournaments as possible, with the Australian Open as his main objective since it is the only Grand Slam he still does not have in his record. To get the best rhythm ahead of the tournament, in addition to facing Frances Tiafoe and João Fonseca on the already scheduled dates, Carlitos will also play against Jannik Sinner in Seoul on January 10. Although there has been much criticism from former tennis players about the number of exhibition matches the Spaniard plays, Alcaraz has defended himself by saying that this kind of match is a great opportunity to assess my physical condition and feel better before the Australian Open. Having the opportunity to play in front of Korean fans is incredibly motivating. Also, playing in a new environment helps me tremendously in my preparation for the season, Carlos added in an interview for Tennis Korea. In addition to justifying his match against Sinner in South Korea before playing the Australian Open, the Spaniard dedicated a few words to his biggest rival on court. Jannik and I have faced each other on many important stages and have played intense matches. We have faced each other in several Grand Slam finals and I think we have strengthened each other, Carlos said. Finally, the tennis player has said that the rivalry between him and the Italian is positive, and he hopes to continue facing Sinner throughout his career. With a long career ahead, I hope we can continue with this positive rivalry that will help us grow together, and the final message surprised all the fans. I think in the next match I will beat Sinner after making some changes in training. Carlos Alcaraz surprises everyone by delivering the Eastern Conference Trophy of the MLS to Inter Miami of Messi. After being seen at an NBA Miami Heat game, Carlos Alcaraz has now turned to football, attending an Inter Miami match of Leo Messi, in which he brought luck to the Argentine. Carlos Alcaraz's adventures in Miami continue this week, and after attending a Miami Heat game, where he was an involuntary protagonist after receiving a jersey from the mascot and experiencing the NBA spectacle firsthand, he has now returned to a more familiar environment, football. Specifically, the Mercian witnessed a great victory by Leo Messi and his Inter Miami in the MLS Cup semifinals against New York City. The Spanish tennis player attended this Saturday the Eastern Conference Final of the MLS at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. And just like in basketball, during the pre-match events, Alcaraz received a special Inter Miami jersey with the number 99. The Mercian was on the pitch and exchanged greetings with several members of the Miami team, which this Saturday earned a spot in the MLS Cup final after winning this match, and will play the final on December 6 in Miami. He was especially seen in good spirits with the star from Rosario, in a meeting between two of the most talented athletes in history. A lucky charm for Leo Messi. Alcaraz's presence brought luck to Leo Messi, as Inter Miami thrashed New York City 5-1 with a hat-trick from former Celta de Vigo player Tadeo Allende in this Eastern Conference final and qualified for the MLS Cup final, the first in the history of the Florida club, and also for Lionel Messi, who will fight for this title with his team on December 6. The final will be played in the same venue, Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, between Inter Miami and the winner of the semifinal between Vancouver and San Diego. Alcaraz: after seeing Messi's Inter crowned champions, it has been a very beautiful experience. The Spaniard was in a privileged position during the home team's entrance this Saturday, so he was able to greet Messi, whom he had already met at the Laureus World Sports Awards in 2023. He also congratulated the Argentine legend during the trophy ceremony. It has been a very beautiful experience, he said in a post from Inter on X. Additionally, the Mercian exchanged some words with players such as the Uruguayan Luis Suarez and the Spaniards Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. The ATP punishes Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz loses half of his Christmas bonus. The Mercian, who finished as number 1 in the ATP ranking in 2025, has not been able to play all the Masters 1000, which has cost him a significant amount of money. As the last month of the year is about to begin and the tennis season has already come to an end, it is time to assess the sporting and economic earnings that 2025 has brought for the big names of current tennis. And among them, of course, the most curious case is that of the current world number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. After signing the best season of his still short career, many wonder how these successes have affected his personal finances. Well, the Mercian, who played up to 11 finals this year, has been left without half of an important extra bonus. This is the bonus received for participating in all the Masters 1000 tournaments played in a single year. Alcaraz would have been entitled to $4.8 million if he had played them all, but the rule dictates that this reward is reduced by 25% for each Masters 1000 not played due to withdrawal or injury, up to a maximum of 3.